And I think agencies are required to put their big spends, at least their big contracts up early, or give notice ahead of time. So there's some quite good intelligence, as you say, in the system, but it's actually building those relationships. On the procurement side, are there any practices you see within the current, if you like, federal sphere that could be problematic here, that people need to reflect on as agencies themselves, I think, gear up?
I think that it's often understanding that what they take to market and the size and scale of it sometimes is so big that it's outside of the reach of most businesses. Doesn't matter if they're Aboriginal or not. Right. And there's been a real effort to try and break some of that down, or at least encourage those big bidders to think about what they're doing in this space. And I think that Aboriginal businesses are no different. They will want to get into the supply chain, but most of the opportunities are actually not going to be at the tier 1 level. They're going to be further down in the chain. And so impressing upon those big businesses that are winning that work, the importance of this policy to the government, and making sure that all the accountability measures actually appear in those contracts, because that will change behaviour. And again, to use another example from Western Australia, the reason why you saw so many Aboriginal businesses form over there, it was a key requirement of all the big resource contracts going to market, was that you had to address 10% Aboriginal employment and or procurement, Aboriginal businesses in your procurement chain. If you couldn't, then you had that was heavily weighted in those contracts, 10%. If you're not addressing that, you're behind all the rest of those that are. So it's in their interest, but it only works when they're enforced.
Gotcha. Final question, you mentioned the value of diversity in the supply chain. What is that value for?
I think most businesses have been on this journey of diversity within. So finding and making sure that they're diverse and inclusive in terms of their workforce, and that flows right through to supply chains. If you're not getting the same through there, then you're not getting the best value in that. What research shows is that workplaces that are more diverse and more inclusive, one, are commercially more successful, so the returns to shareholders are a lot higher, but also are more likely to be driving innovation, because there's different thinking, and that just mixes up the whole environment really. So as I said earlier, the US has recognised this for a long time. Australia's playing a bit of a catch-up, if you like, and we have some real opportunities to really embrace this and do something quite different, and see where it takes Australia. But I think it's also a way in which we can address Aboriginal employment outcomes, and it's not a government responsibility in its totality. It's not something that the Aboriginal community can solve on its own, but collectively with corporates and with other businesses, we actually can help close the gap on employment at least. And the flow-on effects from that onto other headline indicators like life expectancy will be huge.
Right. Thank you. Well, thank you, Jason, for sharing with us those thoughts. It's a very exciting initiative, I think, and everyone's really watching these new program to see how it goes. So we'll be coming back and perhaps talk to you at a later stage.
Yeah, most welcome. And it's early days, so let's hope it drives some change.
Thank you.
Thank you.